Is Germany wearing the crown of most sinful country in 2025? This bold question has been making waves online and in newspapers. Some call Germany wild, unpredictable, and even a little bad. But what does this really mean? Is it just gossip, or is there some truth behind the headlines? When you think of Germany, you might picture beer, bratwurst, and wild parties at Oktoberfest. Maybe you even imagine Berlin's famous nightclubs, open until sunrise. These ideas fuel the talk about Germany being the most sinful country. But are these images fair, or do they miss the bigger picture? Let's dig deeper. Germany is a country of contrasts. On one hand, you have old castles and traditions. On the other, there are wild festivals and edgy art scenes. So, does living in Germany in 2025 really mean living on the edge? Join me as we explore real life in Germany. We'll separate fact from fiction and discover what it's really like to live in one of Europe's most talked about countries. Before we judge, let's ask, what does sinful mean here? For some, sin is about breaking rules or enjoying too much of the good life. For others, it's about freedom, doing what makes you happy, even if it's a little wild. Germany's sinful reputation comes from its open-minded culture. Berlin, Hamburg, and Cologne are famous for their nightlife. People dance until dawn, try new foods, and live life out loud. But does this make a country sinful or just fun-loving? Let's be clear. Sinful doesn't always mean bad. Sometimes it means daring to live differently. In Germany, people value honesty, directness, and personal freedom. These values can look sinful to outsiders, but inside Germany, they are just normal life. So, when we talk about Germany as sinful, are we really talking about breaking rules, or are we just surprised at how open people are? Let's keep this question in mind as we look closer at everyday German life. Step out onto a German street in 2025. What do you see? Bikers zoom past, coffee shops are full, and families stroll to local parks. The air smells of fresh bread from the bakery. Life here is active, organized, and sometimes surprisingly relaxed. Germans love their routines. Many start the day early, with a strong coffee and a hearty breakfast. On weekdays, trains run like clockwork, bringing people to school or work. After work, it's common to meet friends at a beer garden or take a walk in nature. Sundays are special. Most shops are closed and people slow down. It's a day for family, friends, and big meals together. Even in busy cities, life pauses. This rest day is a quiet tradition, hardly what you might expect from a sinful country. Everyday life in Germany is a mix of old and new. You'll see smartphones and electric cars next to centuries-old churches. Germans respect rules, but also enjoy life. The sinful label doesn't quite fit what you find on these peaceful streets. Here's a surprise. Germans are among the world's biggest recyclers. Over 65% of waste is recycled, making Germany a green leader. This love for the environment is not what you might expect from a sinful country. Another fact. Germans drink a lot of beer, about 100 liters per person each year. But alcohol rules are strict. People drink responsibly, and drunk driving is not tolerated. Oktoberfest is huge, but most days, Germans enjoy a single beer after work, not wild parties. Did you know that Germany is the world's third largest book market? Reading is a top hobby. Libraries are busy, and people love discussing ideas. Germans also walk or bike more than most Europeans, keeping them active and healthy. Finally, Germans are famous for their honesty. If you lose your wallet on the street, there's a good chance someone will return it. Trust is a big part of daily life. These facts paint a more balanced picture. Germany is unique, but sinful may not be the right word. Let's challenge some stereotypes. Many believe Germans are always serious and cold. But, in reality, they love a good joke and enjoy time with friends. Laughter fills beer gardens, and festivals are packed with smiling faces. Another myth says Germans only eat sausage and potatoes. Sure, these are traditional foods, but big cities have global flavors. Sushi, falafel, and vegan restaurants are everywhere. Food is about variety and fun, not just old habits. What about the idea that Germans party all night, every night? While Berlin's clubs are famous, most people actually prefer quiet evenings at home. Watching football or taking a stroll is just as common as going out to dance. Finally, some think Germans are rule-obsessed. Yes, rules matter, but there's flexibility too. People cross the street on red lights, sometimes, and creativity is encouraged at work and in school. The reality is much more relaxed than the stereotypes suggest. Germany's nightlife is legendary, especially in cities like Berlin and Hamburg. Clubs open late and music thumps until sunrise. But honestly, these scenes are only one part of life. Many Germans actually prefer quiet pubs or local wine bars for their evenings. Food is a big pleasure here. Beyond sausage and schnitzel, you'll find fresh bread, local cheeses, and creative street food. Farmers' markets are popular, and many people cook at home. Sharing meals is an important tradition, bringing families and friends together. Work-life balance is serious business. Germans work hard, but they also know when to stop. The average work week is about 34 hours, giving people time for hobbies and relaxation. Paid vacation is generous, often up to 30 days a year. Social customs are friendly but respectful. Shaking hands, making eye contact, and being on time are important. Parties exist, but so do quiet family dinners and cozy evenings by the fire. There's a balance between excitement and calm in German life. Here's the data. Germany has over 84 million people, making it the most populated country in the European Union. About 77% live in cities, but nature is never far away. Green spaces and parks fill every town. The average German drinks about 2.6 cups of coffee every day, almost as much as their beer. More than 70% of adults exercise at least once a week, often by biking or hiking. Germans also spend over 100 billion euros each year on travel, both inside and outside the country. Nightlife is famous, but only 10% of Germans say they go out to dance clubs regularly. Watching TV or online streaming is more common, with 90% tuning in each week. Family time is important too. Over 60% eat dinner together most nights. On the sinful side, Germany's crime rate is low compared to other big countries. People feel safe walking at night in most cities. So, while Germany is lively and open-minded, the numbers show a society that values balance and safety. Germany has a lot to celebrate. Education is strong, with free or low-cost university for all. Arts and music thrive, from Beethoven to techno DJs. Every city has its own festivals, celebrating everything from film to food. Community is important. Neighbors help each other, and volunteering is popular. Local clubs, called Verein, are everywhere, from sports to gardening to chess. These groups make it easy to meet people and build friendships. Health matters here. Germans enjoy fresh air, long walks, and swimming in lakes. Many cities close streets to cars on weekends so families can play and bike. The focus is on enjoying life, not just working hard. Germans are also proud of their history. Castles, museums, and old towns are carefully kept. At the same time, the country welcomes new ideas, cultures, and trends. It's a mix of old and new, tradition and change. A recipe for a happy, interesting life. So, is Germany the most sinful country in 2025? The answer isn't simple. Yes, there are wild parties, bold art, and open-minded attitudes. But there is also deep respect for family, nature, and tradition. Balance is the real story here. The sinful label often comes from looking at the wildest parts of German life. But step back and you see a country that values honesty, friendship, and creativity. Germans are proud of their freedom, but they also care about rules, respect, and responsibility. Germany is unique, a place where history meets modern life and excitement meets calm. It's easy to misunderstand this country if you only see the headlines. But real life here is richer, deeper, and more welcoming than you might expect. Next time you hear about Sinful Germany, remember, there's always more to the story. And that's what makes exploring Germany so much fun.